Welcome to the wine glass, and today we're going to be talking about sediment and crystallization. Now, in the last episode, I poured out a bottle of wine into this decanter here to show you guys a way to remove the sediment from your wine. Now, something I did forget to mention was that the only way to 100% get sediment out of your wine is to use cheesecloth. Now, later on, I'm going to demonstrate how to pour out the wine into your glass so you can get as little sediment as possible into your glass. Now, what is sediment? Sediment is different particles in the wine, such as the grape skins, seeds, stems that are left over from the fermentation process, or dead yeast cells, or also known as lees. These are the particles that you'll see floating around in your wine, and you can actually see them here on the stem of our decanter. Now, these things are actually very good to have in your wine. They are considered flavor particles, so they do enhance the flavor of your wine. So if it's such a good thing, why is it that we don't have it in our wines normally? Well, that requires a little bit of a history lesson. Way back when, all of our wines used to be very cloudy, very hazy, and had sediment in them. And it wasn't until the wine scene started growing with the restaurant scene that things began to change. People in restaurants would get a glass of wine, it would be kind of hazy, stuff would be floating around in it, and people would send it back. And restaurants eventually could not sell their wines because that's how most of the wines were at the time. So restaurants are reaching out to the winemakers and telling them, hey, I can't sell these wines because people see that there's something floating around in it and they don't want to drink it. So winemakers started introducing a new process, clarifying. By clarifying the wine, they started removing all that haziness, that cloudiness, and they started to remove the sediments in the wine. Now, that clarity is now considered a step for judging processes. So when you see a bottle that says 99 points, 80 points, things like that, clarity is actually one of the things that they judge the wine on. Now, we're going to go ahead and demonstrate how to pour out from the decanter into the wine glass. Now, this has been decanting for a while now, so the sediments are pretty settled down at the bottom. And the way using a decanter works is that because it's such a wide base to very narrow base, that sediment should stay at the bottom. Now, like I said, the only 100% way to remove all the sediment from your wine is to use cheesecloth. So now I'm going to show you how to do it. I like to go ahead and grab it from here, and then just very carefully and very slowly pour from there. Let's say that's enough for right now. So as you can see, there's not too many particles, and when I swirl around, you're not going to see too many particles stuck to the sides. Now, that is because the particles are all kind of at the bottom of this decanter and a little bit on the stem here. But for the most part, the sediments are stuck inside of the decanter. Now we're going to start talking about crystallization. Crystallization, also known as wine diamonds, is a combination of tartric acid found in grapes and potassium. When they combine in extremely cold conditions, they create crystallization. Now, the chemical combination is called potassium bitartrate, and that is that crystal structure that you'll see kind of like in your wine bottles or stuck at the very bottom of the cork. Now, this is also a very normal process, and it's most commonly found within white wine because we actually chill our white wines to the point where that reaction can happen. In red wines, it's very rare since we don't chill our red wines to that point. Now, is it safe to consume? Absolutely. I actually recommend trying it once because it's a very interesting tasting profile. It is very crunchy. It has a little bit of a salty but sour and bitter combination depending on the wine it's from. So it's a very interesting experience, and I recommend everybody trying it at least once. Now, I'm going to go ahead and insert some photos of what crystallization in the bottle looks like. I did have a bottle of white wine from Austria that recently had some crystallization in the bottle, but if you do come in contact with it, it's completely safe and completely fine, so don't worry about it. Alright, I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Remember, drink responsibly, and happy drinking!